You're listening to OMTimes Radio. The following is an encore presentation. Welcome to Joy of Business with host Simone Milasas, a dynamic business leader with a difference. Simone has founded and operated many businesses from a young age and has always done business differently. Today, Simone is the worldwide coordinator of Access Consciousness and travels the world presenting Joy of Business programs using access tools and empowering people to know that they can create business in a different way and make money doing it. Simone Milasas, weekly on OMTimes Radio.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening. You're with Simone Milasas and Joy of Business, and it's actually my morning, so hence I have coffee, 8 a.m. in the morning, sitting on my veranda in Fujian Beach, Australia, and I have a Joy of Business facilitator on with me, Max Zoulek. So welcome, Max.
Hi, it's so awesome to be here. Thank you, Simone, for inviting me.
Oh, you're so welcome. So Max actually is amazing. He's someone I work with a lot on videos, and someone was saying to me the other day that, because I want to get you to do some videos in New Zealand, and I went, they said, I can help you out, and I went, it's okay. I said, Max will be there, and I was like, and I can work with Max, and they went, yeah, you do work well with Max, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I do, and it's like, there's something about, I don't know, I feel it anyway. I don't know if you feel it. It's like, it's sort of like, I feel like there's this synchronicity there's an admiration that I have of what you can do with film and what you do with video. And it's like, and I have a picture, but I have no idea how to explain it. And you seem to 90% of the time tap into the energy of that and actually create it. So there you go. For that, I'm very, very grateful.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. And I mean, part of the reason I think that we work so well together with the video stuff is because you really inspire me, and I love the stuff that you do. All of the Joy of Business and your energy around all of that is such a pleasure to film and is a huge contribution to me too. And just like when I edit your videos and when I edited your last Udemy course, like I just learned so much from it because, I basically watched the footage several times again afterwards as I'm cutting it and then like doing the final edit. Yeah. And like my screensaver on my computer right now is a quote literally from that filming session. Like if I was making $500,000 this year, what would I choose? What would I change? That was literally from that Udemy course.
Nice. Okay. And we didn't set this up. This is not a plug for the Udemy course, but you should go there. I know there's an advert on during this show, so go check it out.
Valuing you in business.
Change anything.
Yeah.
So
Max, I mean, that's one of the things I really love about video and shooting with people like you, because it is a huge contribution to me and like what we can create in the world with mediums like this, because video is huge now. So what we can create is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. And tell me, when did you first sort of get interested in, I want to say, technology? And what did that look like?
Well, I'd have to first say that when I started with technology, I mean, my mum always laughed at me because she's like, you're so much on the computer now. Because you used to hate technology. You used to tell me, like, she, like, studied IT, when I was, like, in high school. And she's always been into computers. She was sort of on the, like, cutting edge, so to speak. And she, like, I used to, like, say to her, apparently, when I was younger, like, why do you spend so much time on the computer? What are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then now she jokes at me because, like, I literally used to hate technology. I used to be like, whatever, I don't need it. I don't want it to have anything to do with it. It's too complicated. And, and I've heard a lot of other people with that sort of point of view as well. And
right.
I'd have to say that it was really when I started creating videos that I became more interested. And I guess with technology, videos is sort of like my main interest and passion and so forth. Although I do a lot of other stuff as well. And we'll talk about a lot more other stuff. But when I started the videos probably about 3.5 years ago, that's where my interest really grew. And like, I just couldn't help but like search for different things and look at different videos and be inspired in that way.
So, because I noticed even like, I mean, you've got, with a video, let's look at that. And it's like, you've got sound, intros, outros, all this sort of stuff. Like, I mean, my son who's 10, almost 11, he started making some videos recently. I don't know if you've checked it out, Max. You have to. He's got a YouTube channel. And
I tried to subscribe to that on my phone and I couldn't, like through whatever the link at the time of. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to try again.
A little bit
and it's
annoying.
called,
Exactly.
his last name's What, so it's called What Smarty Pants. And it's about making videos for kids about science and math. I mean, it's so cute. And it's like, I mean, some of the angles, you can see that he's writing on a piece of paper and he wants to show you what he's doing, but the camera's not on it. So for his birthday, we were thinking of buying him some equipment that he could film a little bit better, because he sets his whole room up. Like, he's got this carpet in his room and he moves everything and then sets up this whole scene with dominoes and then, what is it called? Stop film or something? Like, he takes all that and then
stop
puts
motion.
it together. Stop motion.
Stop motion.
The other night he showed me a new one, and the intros and outros that he have are brilliant. And it's like, for someone like me who doesn't do it, I'm like so impressed. So, but it is amazing what technology is available nowadays. So we're going to get a lot more into that. And so one of the things is technology is available a lot. It's everywhere you turn. Like, I mean, it's in everything you do, and it's like even, you know, the systems in your house, and it's like so many of them are based on technology. It's like if electricity went out, we might be in a bit of a problem. So it's like, you know, the global age and everything we use is technology. And it's like, so what do you see that meaning for business?
Well, basically, I think if you're resistant to technology at all, like if you react or resist to it, or you think that it's like the key thing with business and the only thing that you should be looking at for creating a business, then it's going to sort of like bite you in the butt. So in Access, we basically talk about, you know, if you resist and react, or if you align and agree, like these two polar ends, then we stick ourselves and we have way less choice. So what if we clear that first and foremost? You know, like everywhere where we've decided that we love technology, or that it's the only way, or that we hate technology and we don't want anything to do with it, like let's destroy and uncreate all of that. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. Because so many people I've talked to really are somewhere on that spectrum. You know, they don't really just have the ease and the joy of using technology for whatever they would like to create.
So what would you say if someone was resisting it though, Max? It's like, what's some of because I mean, to them it's like, it seems like this whole complicated world that they don't even know where the door is, you know? And
Absolutely.
it's like, so what would be, you know, one or two or three things that they could actually, step number one from Max Zoulek.
Well, I reckon, what I've really learned from Gary and from you as well, Simone, and other facilitators is like, step number one really is acknowledging it. If you sort of like stay in the lie of like, I really hate technology, but I should use it, like you sort of paste like a should over it, or that you do like it somewhere when you really don't. The first step is really acknowledging that you hate technology, you don't want anything to do it, and just acknowledge that that's the point of view that you have, not by making yourself wrong or not making that point of view right, but just go, wow, I have that point of view. And then you can, just like we did the clearing statement, you can destroy and uncreate it. So everything that is, I want to destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And you can keep doing that until you feel some sort of space around that. So you're sort of like, actually, I don't hate technology so much anymore. Now it's sort of more of an interesting point of view. So that would be one of my first suggestions with that, to be honest with yourself and then clear it and clear it and clear it until you have a sense of space with it. Because that's when you start having choice and more creativity with it.
You know, what's funny too, Max, is when I asked you to come on and do a radio show and I said, what topic do you want to choose? And you said, I can't remember, what was the name of it you said? Something about
talking to technology?
Was it talking to technology talking to technology. And it's funny because I use technology all the time, but my first initial reaction is like, another technology thing. And it's like, but that I think is not my point of view. I think it's everybody else's point of view, because I'm so grateful for everything I have that I use technically. I mean, I remember when Nash, you know, my son was like 7 years of age, and he was saying something, because we were saying something about him being on his iPad all the time, and he goes, but all you two do is sit around on your computers all day, because to him, we must have been playing games. Like, that's what you do if you have a computer open or an iPad. And we're like, and so we had to explain to him, we were like, you do get that this is our work, right? That we're working. We're not just like, you know, sitting on the couch, sitting outside, sitting in bed, wherever we choose to sit, because we do sit all over the place and work. And he was like, and looked at it in a completely different way. So I do use it all the time, but I must admit that was my initial reaction. Was like, can't we do something about, you know, I don't know, making more money or something, because that I would find really easy initially. But I just realized that, thank you so much, that I actually don't hate technology, but I do buy into other people's points of view. So that's another thing you can look at too with what Max is talking about. It's like, ask, who does it belong to? Is it even mine? And if it's not your point of view, then pock and pot it. Why are you carrying it around with you? So I'm over it. I'm over my point of view.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Like, who does this belong to is like such a relevant thing, because I've had to do that like with computers and with technology as well, because I'll be like, oh, but I shouldn't be in front of the computer so much, or I should, like, you know, all these shoulds that we put in there, which is really just like we're putting over like some other point of view, some other awareness that we're having, you know, or some sort of like point of view that a lot of people around us have. And that doesn't give us any choice, and it limits our creativity. And I know, Simone, you talk a lot about like having more ease with business and creating like a bigger business and expanding your business and having a bigger life like the one that you desire. So when we like kill our creativity with these points of views, then we're really like killing the creation of our life and the creation of our business, which is basically the same thing. Like I learned from Simone again, life is our business and business is our life.
Exactly. But I want to ask you something, because you know what, it's funny, because this is something that comes up for me, is that, so I love snow skiing and I like horse riding. I'm way better at snow skiing. And my reason justification is because it's me, my skis, and the mountain. I have a choice every moment. When I'm on a horse, like, I like horse riding, but there's somewhere where I'm out of control, because the horse also has a point of view if it's going to spook or jump or, you know, run, you know, at a dead run or something like that. And the same thing with technology. It's like there's this, what happens if something happens? What happens if it stops? And it's like, so it's like I'm relying on technology to expand my creativity. But I get that that's just a fixed point of view that this reality projects at you as well.
Yeah. And
so everything that is times a godzillion, I'm going to destroy and uncreate it, right? And I'm good about pock and pot all night shorts, boys and beyond. Sorry, go on.
No, thank you. That's a really great point, because that's sort of what I was saying beforehand as well, with the, like, when we make it our, like, when we rely on it rather than relying on our own creativity. Like, basically, technology is never the source of anything that you create with your business. And whenever you have the point of view that it is the source of your business, you start destroying your business. Because you are the source of creation for your business. And everything that doesn't allow us to perceive, know, be, and receive that, can we destroy and uncreate that now?
Yeah.
Right and wrong.
And I just wrote that quote down.
All night shots, boys and beyond.
now I'm quoting you.
Well, together,
I love it. So,
the brilliance we can create in the world is amazing.
Exactly. So we are going to be heading off to a break in a few seconds here, but I'm just going to read that again, what I wrote down, because technology is never the source that you create with your business with. You are the source of the creation of your business. Okay? So get that, because it's like, I always talk about that too with money. It's like people use money as the source of creation, and it's not true. And it's like, you are the source of the creation of your business. So what are you currently choosing? So we're heading off to a break, but we'll be back real soon. Don't go away, because Max and I are not going away. You're with Simone Milasas on Joy Business and Mr. Max Zoulek. Would you like to make a difference in the world but don't know how? Do you think you'd have an easier time creating that change with or without money? Here's the thing. You have to be willing to value yourself and the services that you offer to start creating more money. My new online video course, Finding the Value of You and Your Business, is now online at udemy.com. Go to accessjoyofbusiness.com/Udemy special to get $20 off today.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Circle of Hearts Radio is the sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
We're back. See, I told you we weren't going away. Your Joy Business and Simone Milasas and Mr. Max Zoulek, who is a Joy Business Facilitator. Now, if you want to find Max, you have to come to Australia or you have to find him somewhere in the world. I think he's actually heading off to Istanbul today. So, as one does, heads off to Istanbul. So,
as one does, just for a few days.
As one does. And then I'm going to see him again in New Zealand, and we're going to do some videos, which I'm excited about. So, the Udemy course that Max was talking about was just an advert there. So, and I think there's a discount coupon or something like that. If you missed it, go back and listen again, because I don't know what it is, but I'm sure you can find
Valuing you in business.
Valuing you in business, yes, because you have to value you in business. Because as Max said, and it's like you are the source of creation. So how does it get any better than that?
Yeah, totally.
So what else do you see? I mean, that was a pretty big question I asked you before. It's like, how do you see that, technology sort of advancing business, or what does it mean to business, or what do people have to? Oh, that's right. We were on the steps. First step, acknowledge that you hate it. Second step.
Well, I think that's a really good place for people to start. And that's a really big thing. Like, acknowledging stuff in our lives generally, stuff that we haven't been willing to look at or acknowledge beforehand, can be a really sort of, I think that can be a real big change point to begin with. And then, like I said, pocketing the point of view, I think that's a really, really big start already. And then see what you would like to create. Then you ask the questions, really. Like, what would you like to create?
Like you said, acknowledging that you hate it. And then, like I said, it's like even having a look, do you hate it? Like, because it's like the resistance that I realized I had.
Exactly.
Said that, but it's like, I actually don't have that resistance. So, if you were creating your reality, what would you choose? And it's like, and another great question to ask too is, how can you use technology to your advantage?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at nowadays and look at what you look at. I mean, you get all these emails, you get all this stuff coming in. I woke up and I've got 203 new emails, and I didn't have any new emails last night. I'm like, how does that happen? So, but it's like, I tell you what I do read is, I mean, obviously I read what's relevant to what project I'm working on at the time, but something that's short, succinct, clear, asks a question, and it's like, and doesn't give me an essay of something of their point of view. And it's like, and also what I notice, if I get sent newsletters or anything like that, most of the time I'll watch video or listen to audio so that I can work at the same time as it's on, rather than reading a whole lot. And I'm not saying that there's not people out there who read, because there are as well. But what if you had can you talk about that actually? What you see is the happy medium with what you could promote yourself with.
Yeah, because what you're talking about is so relevant, because people are always looking for, like, what do I post, how to post, how long does it need to post, what does it need to look like, and that sort of stuff. And I just, there is so many different mediums that you can promote on. And I think firstly you need to ask the question, what's actually fun for you? Yeah. Like for me, video is really fun, and it's easy to do. Like yesterday, I had a really busy day, and I was driving to the barber shop in the morning after dropping the kids off to school, and I went, I've got this Hangout coming out in 4 or 5 days, this Google Hangout, this free Google Hangout. I know I want to put a video with it for the trailer. So this is the first time I'd done it, but I'd had my phone in the cradle holder in the car, and I pressed record, and I recorded the video, and then I edited it last night and put it online. And Shannon was just my wife, she was like, well, that was a fantastic video when I showed it to her this morning. And for me, this is that's really fun for me too, and really easy to do. So you really need to ask the question to yourself, what do you really enjoy doing? Do you like taking photos? Do you like taking videos? Do you like writing stuff? Do you like Facebook? Do you like Instagram? Do you like Twitter? Do you like connecting with people via the phone? Do you like via emails or networking groups? Or there's endless, infinite possibilities, basically.
And the thing is, too, it's sorry, go ahead.
If you choose something that's not fun for you, then you end up resenting it, and you never can really create what you would like to create. But if you beyond all of other people's points of views and your own fixations, pod and pock, you're willing to like trust what is actually fun for you, because what's right for you is always the right direction for you, you know? You can't just copy someone else and expect things to be successful, quote unquote. Then you will create the business and the life that you actually like and enjoy, and it will get bigger and bigger, even if it's totally unconventional.
I like that, even if it's totally unconventional. And it's like, and as Max said, it's like, find the easy way that works for you. Like, I mean, I have a whole Joy business team, and they basically see what I can do, what I will do, and then get me to do that. Like, we have a WhatsApp group, and Emily's like, you just need to take photos and put them in the WhatsApp group, and then they'll put them on social media, or they'll put them on Instagram. Because me uploading Instagram, there'd never be anything on it. So, but I can take photos of wherever I am and do that. So that's easy for me. And then the other thing that I just, it's funny, we've got a infrared sauna at home, okay? And pretty much every day I go in there and I find it really relaxing. And I also find it great for reading, because I never seem to get time to read anything, but you can't take your computer into an infrared sauna. And I've tried to take an iPad and it overheated. So I've learned, okay? So I read, and because there's a lot of magazines that I pick up all around the world, and I love looking at what's occurring. And then what I realized is I read certain articles, and then I have this idea, or I have an idea of how I can change someone's point of view, or how we can have a more expansive point of view is what I'm talking about. And I've got articles in a lot of different magazines, and I mean, one of them I've got is in a magazine called Executive Women. That is the biggest magazine for women in the Middle East, which just brings me so much joy, because I'm like, this is so cool that all the access consciousness tools are getting out there to all of these, you know, business women in the Middle East. And it's like, that just makes me so happy. So, but what I started doing was, and I do take my phone, I leave it near the door. I read an article and then I say a whole lot of things on a topic that might be similar, because it inspires me. And I go, oh, could be an article. And then I've got it, I put it in a Dropbox account, which is so easy for me to do. And then the person who helps me write a lot of articles, she's a ghostwriter we have, based on my stuff though, and my PR agent have access to it. So she gets quotes from it. She gets new ideas for articles, because otherwise she's always waiting to talk to me to see if I can, you know, give her something. I mean, the other day I did one on, you know, educating your kids about money, or, you know, and it's like, so I just spoke about all these different tools in it. But then I'm sitting in a sauna, totally relaxed, recording myself for under 5 minutes, and then put it in this Dropbox account, and then bam, a whole lot of other people take it and run with it and do something with it that matches the energy of what I'd like to see in the world. It's all expanding, you know, access consciousness tools around the world. So
that's
find
totally
what's
brilliant.
easy for you and how you work with it. Yeah.
And I think the other point
you don't have to do it all yourself.
The other point that you're making brilliantly there is that you don't have to do it all yourself. Like, there is so many options, like people online, and with this, because we're in a really global world where we are globally connected, like at every second of the day, we can have access to anyone else in the world that's online, which is like most people, you know. So we, like, the people that work for you, Simone, right? I mean, they're all over the world.
Yeah.
Right? So
no, we never get to meet around the water cooler talking about work.
You never have coffee breaks and cigarette breaks and stuff outside.
No, no.
But the thing is, you guys can be so connected, and then like the speed of creation is incredible, and you don't have to do it all yourself. You can like, and I think this is a big thing about receiving as well. Like, are you willing to receive something far greater when you allow other people to contribute to what you desire to create? And everything that doesn't allow that, can we destroy and uncreate that all?
Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Like, I've noticed recently as well, I've got some more people contributing to the classes that I'm doing. I've got like some different promoters and like all over the world. And there's been this huge receiving block that's been up for me where I'm sort of like, oh, then I just want to like stop doing it. Like, I don't want to promote the class. Or like, and it's not that I don't want to, like, I stopped doing stuff online, but then I'm also like, I don't want to look at the stuff on the computer. If I see it come up on Facebook or something, I look past it or something. And I had to really stop myself and go, hang on a second. What do I actually desire to create here? And when I went, okay, no, this is really, because I've done this in the past and I've really dropped stuff and let it go, like classes that I've created and whatnot. And I obviously don't like I don't like the effect that has, and I'm designed to commit to myself more and more all the time. And this is really a part for me where I go, okay, what else can I receive here? Like, what questions can I ask? Where else can I let my barriers down and receive, like, the gift that I am in the world? Because that's really what it comes down to. It's like me not valuing me in business. Thank you so much.
So if you have people, promoting you, if you have people, you need to watch it again, Max. If you have people promoting you and have stuff out there, so what happened? Like, what would happen to you that you would not want to have people see you? Or, because that's a really common theme. And it's like, then people
Absolutely.
have a great reason and justification to complain about why their business isn't working or why they're not making money, or, but you
and
have to
blame
be
other people and all this other stuff. Yeah. Well, for me, it's really like literally what I said is like valuing me in business. Well, valuing me generally. And then it came across in business like this, and I would destroy my business just because I wasn't willing to receive the greatness of me and the gift that I be in the world. Like the feedback that I've had from people about videos or like classes or just like random people in access consciousness classes that I haven't known that have just like seen something that I've written or done has been like incredible. And there's like a huge amount of receiving in that of myself. So I've really had the pot and pock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've really had the pot and pock everywhere where I'm not willing to receive, where I'm not the gift of myself and like what I'm capable of creating in the world, and everywhere where I've diminished myself and made myself less for all sorts of weird reasons. And the reasons aren't really relevant. It's really about like destroying that, creating it, and then choosing beyond that.
So everything that is, anyone out there listening going, oh my God, Max is telling my story, where you destroy and uncreate it. All right, no, I'm good and bad, pock and pot, all names, shorts, boys and beyonds. And even if you just ask today and it's like, what would it take for me to acknowledge my capacities today? And if you go, but I don't have any. And it's like Max said, start having a look at what you love to do. Do you like to take photos? Do you like to take videos? And it's like, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be with technology. This can be with anything in life. But start to acknowledge what your capacities are. And be willing to receive judgment. Be willing to receive envy. Be willing to receive, all energies. So you can also pock and pot everywhere that you're not willing to receive all energy as we go up to the break. And everything at that is time to Godzillion, where you destroy and uncreate it. All right, and I'm good and bad, pock and pot, all nine, shorts, boys and beyond. Okay, we'll be back really soon. Joy of Business. You're with Simone Milasas and Mr. Max Zoulek. See you soon.
Yeah.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
The Conscious Parenting Radio Show provides inspiration and resources for loving, empowering, and respecting your children and yourself. Join me, Timothy, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as we consciously explore proven ways of living together in happiness, health, and harmony.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Would your business and life like to be bigger? Would you like to have more fun with everything you do? Simone Milasas travels the world facilitating Joy of Business seminars. These classes are for you if you would like to create more money and joy, expand your business, and work smarter, not harder. Join her live or watch the online seminar from the comfort of your own home. Go to www.accessjoyofbusiness.com to register and for more information.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with Joy Business and we're talking about talking to technology. And it's like receiving the contribution from technology and being the contribution and acknowledging all of your capacities. So I just actually went to Max's website page here. It's called talk2.technology. Really easy. Talk2.technology. And it's like, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. No .com. I know.
Technology.
Do you know what I did? I actually went, oh, Max has written it wong. And then I thought, I'll click on it anyway. So, you know, there you go. This is the technology world, ladies and gentlemen. So talk2.technology. And so tell me about some of the stuff that you've got coming up and what people, again, like how they can start to sort of, you know, push those barriers down that they have with technology and what you have on offer. You don't have to be scared, ladies and gentlemen.
So towards the end of May, there's going to be a free Zoom hangout, which is really just about talking to technology and the tools that we can use to talk to technology. And this is an access consciousness specialty class. So we use all the tools of access consciousness with technology, so we can be more with technology and receive more from technology. And it's like communing with the molecules of technology and everything, so we can be more creative and create more of what we would like to see in the world. So there's the free Zoom hangout, which is going to be at the end of May. There'll be a link on this show. Is that right, Simone?
Yep.
For that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes,
and it'll be on talk2.technology as well. And then there's a video basics class coming up as well, which is a webinar online for 4 sessions. And we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to be showing you as well, because it's a video class, a webinar, where I can share my screen and all sorts of stuff and show you exactly like the process of creating great videos for you, with all about using your iPhone to YouTube to Facebook, the whole process, and how to do it totally easily.
Oh, I love that.
The basics of that. Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone have to have any knowledge of technology to go onto that?
Absolutely not. The last video basics webinar that I did, like there were some people that I think they barely like touched their computer recently. So it's all really easy. Like to get onto the webinar is easy, and I make it as simple as possible to use, because everyone's got a smartphone these days. Basically, it's got a camera on it, right? So it's about using your smartphone and how you can easily then just shoot a video, get it online, and be the invitation that you want to be. And we also do some practice examples, like where you take videos over those 4 sessions and create something and share it with people.
So it's interesting too as you're talking, because one of the things that we've been talking about with Joy Business recently is we need, and we say we need a techie. We need like a tech person that knows how to do certain things, because we're sort of rearranging a bunch of stuff within the company. And it's like, and I'm like, I don't even know what to, all I'm asking for is someone who's absolutely phenomenal and great to show up. And it's like, which is how I usually do things. It's like, okay, I'd like someone better than me to show up. And it's like, and someone who sort of wakes up and loves our website and is like, okay, how can we expand on this? Or how do we use technology to our advantage to create more? But I don't know how or what that is. I'm just asking for someone who has that energy that I know can create something different and create something more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to know all about technology to hire people.
And the energy that you just like spoke about that with as well, like that really just gave me a different perspective of like when you're looking to hire people, the energy that you can approach that with, that's really, it's such a different point of view rather than looking at a result. Like, oh, I need this person to do this and this and this and this and this. Like the question that you're being in that is really about what person can show up that's like way greater than you've ever imagined, you know, without any conclusion. And that's one of the gifts really of Joy of Business and what you facilitate, Simone, is the real question and always creating greater, always out-creating and always creating greater. And doing that with technology, basically, you know, globally with technology. So I think you're a great example, and what you just said then was a great example of the energy of what we can be to create more.
Thank you. Hey, do you have any Joy Business classes coming up? Are you because you're qualifying.
I am a Joy Business
101. Business done different. Yes.
I don't have any at the moment, unfortunately. I mean, I don't have any other classes on the calendar at all, which I really would like to.
You're so busy traveling around actually doing stuff for me and other people.
And to be honest, there really is no excuse. I would like to be doing more classes, and pardon me.
Okay, good. Get to work.
Exactly.
What if you had so much work on your plate, you had the reason and justification, you're incredibly overwhelmed, and it's like, oh yeah, guess what? An infinite being can't be overwhelmed. So how does it get any better than that?
No excuse. And I mean, that's one of the reasons why I just mentioned about, like what you said about other people contributing to your business and stuff. The energy that you're doing that with, without the result, and because what I've tended to do is look for a result and like make things a little bit difficult. So I really appreciate the energy that you had with that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I thought I'd point out to people and see, what else people can receive.
Well, the thing is, and it's like, I mean, just because you've got something going on, or just because you've been judging yourself or holding yourself back or whatever, it's like, guess what? You're not the only one. And it's like, you know, if you're listening to this, then you can relate to anything that we're talking about. And it's like, what if you, I mean, you are the one that created it as it currently is. So guess who can change it? It's you. And it's like, so what if you were willing to use some of these tools? And please, if you've heard me talking about, you know, Joy Business, Access Consciousness, and it's like, please go check it out. Go to accessconsciousness.com, and it's like, get your bars run. That's the best thing to get it run. Find a facilitator near you. It's like, even if you don't know what bars are, does it even feel good when I talk to you about it? Get them run. You can go to a bars class globally. You can also come to Denver, Colorado in September, from the 1st to the 3rd of September. It's the only time I'm in the U.S. this year, and I have Business Done Different, Joy Business 101, on the 1st of September, and then the 2-day class, The Adventure of Business and Living, on the 2nd and 3rd of September. So 3 days, you can come to Denver, Colorado, or you can jump on live stream. So all you have to do to find out about that is go to accessjoyofbusiness.com, search classes, you'll see Classes with Simone, and you'll find it there. So, and also you can email us at OMTimes at accessjoyofbusiness.com at any time. If you have any questions or any topics that you think that we should be doing a show on, etc., it's like OMTimes at accessjoyofbusiness.com. But I would love to see all of you at Joy Business classes because, and I keep hearing this thing, go ahead. It's
awesome. It's a huge contribution. Just to everyone out there, I wouldn't miss it. I've been to several Joy Business classes.
You have, and it's like, and you're coming to India with me as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, that's going to be in late September, and it's like we're going to be in Mumbai, India, from the 27th to the 29th of September doing Joy Business classes. So, very exciting stuff.
Highly recommend.
Thank you. So, well, that's actually what I was going to say is we're doing a press release at the moment because one of the things we always get feedback on is people like, yes, but I've got my own business, you know, I don't want to do Joy Business. And it's like, this is not about you now do business, you know, this is a, you know, now you have to do Joy Business. It's about these tools can be incorporated in anything that you're doing. You can be a gardener and it's like, you know, incorporate the Joy Business Access Consciousness tools into your gardening. And it's like, or be a stay-at-home mum. And it's like, that's a job. Or be a CEO. It's like whatever that is, because all of these tools come from Access Consciousness, and they're basically about empowering you to know that you know. And I'm sorry, but I don't see a great deal of things out there in the world today that empower you to know that you know. What they usually do is tell you what they think you should do. And how many of you like being told what to do? Yeah, and it's like, what if you had...
Or do you resist it hugely?
Exactly. Exactly. I will not do that, even if it's the best thing for me. Nope, you told me, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. And that's the big invitation. I mean, just looking at the title of your class, Joy of Business, I think is huge already. So, and like you say, business is your life and life is your business. So what if you were like a work from home mum or a gardener, or you had a little hobby or whatever it is, like what if you could have that joy of living while doing that and in doing that and creating more and creating something that you desire, like bigger than what you're currently having. Like what else do you desire? And what else like can contribute to you, whether it's technology or whether it's other people Like, what else can you receive? What else can contribute to you? And what other contribution can you be is a huge question as well, because contribution is a two-way street. It's receiving and giving, gifting rather. It's like being the gift that you are, and then receiving happens at the same time. So what contribution is available for you and for the world by you having the joy of business?
And everywhere that you've been refusing contribution, will you destroy and uncreate it, and be willing to have it show up in any way? And everything at that is time to Godzilla, will you destroy and uncreate it? All right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all known, shorts, boys and beyonds. I was having a conversation with Gary Douglas last night about quantum entanglements. And if you look at the quantum entanglements, and it's like what they do is they're a contribution. And it's like what if each business in the world was a contribution to each other? And it's like that's tapping into the quantum entanglements. Rather than how many people have been trying to operate from a random particulate, like a random entanglement, that means that you are separate from everything else rather than actually at one. And it's like consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. So what even if you ask, and even if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like, I mean, it's quite scientific, but it's true. And it's like if you ask today, it's like, what would my business be like and what would my life be like if I was willing to ask the quantum entanglements to contribute to me today? And everything at that is time to Godzilla, and we destroy and uncreate it. Right, not good and bad, POC and POD, all known, shorts, boys and beyond. And if you look at the energy of when you walk into a room and everyone's happy, and then you're all of a sudden really happy, and it's like, that's quantum entanglement. Or you walk into a room and everything's really sort of sad, morose, and it's like, and then you become sad, morose, that's quantum entanglement. And it's like, so what quantum entanglements would we like to create that we haven't been willing to create, because it would be that energy of being completely vulnerable. That energy of being completely, like the 5 elements of intimacy. It's like having that, honoring of each other and having that allowance and the gratitude, etc. So everywhere that you haven't been willing to be that, knowing that everything's going to be awesome, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all known, shorts, boys and beyond. So what if you weren't looking to separate anymore? Yep.
Can we also add technology with that?
Break. Yeah,
can we
let's
also
add
add just quickly technology, like not creating that separation, having an intimacy with technology where you're willing to receive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everything that doesn't already have that, let's destroy and right, wrong, good and bad,
right,
all known, shorts, boys and beyond.
Awesome. Love it. All right,
Great.
So we're heading off to the next break, but we'll be back real soon, and we're going to have some more top tips for you with technology and the joy of technology and talking to technology with Max Zoulek, Simone Milasas on Joy Business. We'll be back.
Would you like to be a part of creating a sustainable future on planet Earth? The El Lugar Foundation, created by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Heer, is a non-for-profit organization providing alternative ways of working with and preserving land for a sustainable future. To donate and learn more, go to www.crowdrise.com/El Lugar. What kind of earth would you like to see passed on to the next generation and beyond? www.crowdrise.com/El Lugar.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business.
Hi, I'm Katrina Kavanagh, host of the I Am Wisdom radio show. I Am Wisdom is about the connection between mind work and energy work, spirituality and living a wonderful life. Looking forward to sharing each Sunday 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with you.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Told you we wouldn't go away. How does it get any better than this? So we've got a few more. We wanted to share some more top tips, etc. with you today. And one of the things I wanted to ask Max is about empowering your kids with technology and what that can look like and how you can, even if you don't know about technology, it's like, how can you be that with your kids? I think you might be still muted, Max. Yep, we're there. And we want to hear what you're saying.
Yes, it's a bit hard when I'm muted. So with kids and technology, what I've heard a lot, I just want to mention quickly, is a lot of people, my kids go to a Steiner school, and they're a little bit anti-technology, which is a little bit sad. Shannon just goes, a little bit. They're quite anti-technology, which I sort of get their point of view, but at the same time, it's like, what choice does that give kids? And whether it's really pro-technology, where like, they have to know about technology, they have to know these things, they have to have these certain computer skills, or whether it's like the Steiner school where it's like, no, they can't see or touch screens and technology until they're 65 years old. There's still like polarity points of view, just like I started this conversation. It's like either aligning and agreeing or resisting and reacting with the point of view, rather than asking the kids, what's actually going to be fun for you? What would you like to create? And the example that Simone gave with Nash, her son, is like, he loves creating videos and he's super creative in that way. And I've seen some of his videos too, and I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And I make like professional videos. I do it professionally. I'm like, this kid's awesome. Like, and he's creating some really cool stuff. And I watch videos on Facebook and YouTube like all the time, and I'm like, just for different ideas, and I love what people are creating. And really, the future includes technology, so why be ignorant about it and create like a negative judgment in the kids' universe about technology, which I've seen created in my kids. But then when they come to our house, we're sort of like, they've got an iPad, and like, we're like, do whatever you like. What's going to be fun for you? And then Finn, my son, created a video only a week ago, like his first video on his iPhone as well, and I helped him with that. And he was like ecstatic, and he was like, wow, I can do this. Like he watched the video like 5 times afterwards, and he was like watching with such like, wow, I did this. And like, cause he took all the footage and we cut it together and put some music with it, like music that he really likes, and then put some text on it, and just simple things like that are super empowering for kids. So I think the real question is, like, would you like to empower your kids or would you like to disempower your kids? And in regards to technology,
do you know one of the things I love about Nash is that he, no matter what he makes, like when it's like he loves it. He thinks it's brilliant. There's no point of view. Like, when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, you can't see some of the stuff. Like he's cut the footage out, but it's like, but he thinks it's brilliant, and I love that he thinks it's brilliant. Because if he thinks that it's brilliant, he's going to create something even greater. And I was just like, hey, what if you move this out of the way? Or what if you, but not in a, way of like, this is what it should be. And he was just like, oh yeah. Because he hadn't looked at it, because he wasn't seeing it that way, whatever. And it's like, but he has so much fun with it. It's brilliant. I love watching him do it.
Exactly. And because every time, like what I find, every time I make a video, like I learn more stuff. And it's sort of like it's a creative process where I go, oh, this, or I notice something else. And so a pointer here as well with your own business, if you're creating videos for your business, is if you notice something that's not perfect, like get it out there anyways, like just post it. And then, for next time, like, you have it in your awareness from that point onwards, but get it out there as well. Because what I do, like I tend to make my videos more fun and playful, and like where I do like some quicker cuts or like put some colored text on it. And I don't go for perfect videos, basically, because it's way more fun going for imperfect videos and having more fun with it. So,
perfection is a judgment too. Yeah.
Yes, and everything that is can be destroyed and created.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all night, short, boys and beyond. Like, what if you weren't a perfectionist? What if you were just like super aware and super creative, and you just like it got twisted into some sort of perfection thing somewhere along the line? Everything this is, let's destroy it and create it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. What if it wasn't actually perfectionism? What if it was actually like a super creativity that you have access to, if you didn't kink it and twist it through judgment? Right
like
and wrong,
that.
good and bad, pod and puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. Yeah.
Because what if you're never wrong? You've never been wrong. You're not even wrong in technology. You're not even wrong with creativity. You're not wrong because you woke up today.
You woke up this morning, therefore you're actually not wrong.
Exactly. You've got something right.
So what can you create today? And it's the same with, like, kids actually, they have to learn judgment. Like, if you look at people are the only things in the world that do judgment, right? Like, trees don't do judgment. Animals don't do judgment. A lion doesn't judge itself after it kills a deer and go, oh my God, I'm so terrible. But, you know, I had to eat, so I had to do it. And they do all these reasons and justifications so they make their judgment okay. That actually doesn't happen. It's only people that create the judgment. So kids, when, like, in the first while, they don't actually have those judgments. They have to learn it. So what if you could help them not learn that? Because they're going to try and learn it from all sorts of different places, you know, from school or from peers or from other, you know, role models that they see. What if you could help them unlearn, or I guess have less of that learning, by asking them questions? And because it's a question that empowers kids with technology. Like Simone said before, she doesn't say, oh, you should have done like that with a video, you should have done like that. She's like, oh, I wonder what this would create if you did this, or I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah,
and
ask the question so that they start to see it through a different perspective.
Yeah, and I know how you and Brendan are both with Nash, and it's fantastic because it really does empower him to, like, you don't have a point of view whether he keeps creating video or doesn't create video. Or, you know, it's just sort of like, what's going to be fun for him? That point of view is so creative for kids. What would they like to create? And notice these are all questions. What would you like to create? What's fun for you? If there's something that's not working for them in school, for example, and, you know, school is something they sort of need to keep doing. So even if that's not fun for them, like, what questions could you ask them that would empower them to handle school better and handle the teachers better and handle their peers better, so they can handle things in life later on in a far more creative way, rather than thinking that they should do something.
And I think the imperative thing there is to give them choice, is what we're talking about. Because it's like, and let them go through, it's turning into a kids show, but that's okay in the last segment here. It's like, we've got, Nash has gone through so many different phases, and it's like, recently he, paper aeroplanes. He was making so many paper aeroplanes, and it was like, I think at one stage we had like 50 in the backyard because he was flying them off the veranda and seeing, how they would fly and doing different designs, and looking up YouTube to watch other people make paper aeroplanes so that he could duplicate it as well. It's like, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that he learns from. And at one stage he's coming out with these amazing pictures of dinosaurs, and I was like, wow, where'd you get that from? And he's like watching on YouTube how to draw dinosaurs. And it's like, okay, so what if you did let your kids use technology? Some parents I see, it's like, only allowed to use the iPad at a certain moment. What if using technology, you used it to your advantage? And it was like, okay, look this up. And it was like, if you want to draw something, see if you can find something like a teacher online that teaches you how to draw something or whatever that is. And it's like, what if you were empowering them to know what they know, and also to search out what they're looking for, to have infinite choice? That's what we want for our kids, to have choice. Yeah,
because what are they actually capable of that no one else is willing to acknowledge that point? Because they will find out for themselves. If they're empowered with questions and choice and possibilities, then they're going to really discover what works for them and what life they desire to create, what business they desire to create, what's actually going to be fun for them looking forward. Because there's so many people in the world that do not enjoy their life or their business or what they're creating, because at some stage they got like sidetracked into some point of view of what they should be doing or what they shouldn't be doing. So is that what you actually desire for your kids? And I think it's hilarious that this Joy of Business conversation about technology has turned in about kids as well. So, and everything that's coming up to the people that are listening on this call about what you weren't allowed to do and how you weren't empowered, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that as well?
And know that you can do it now too. Yeah.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And exactly what's now possible? What can you create now? How can you out-create the limitations that you bought into when you were younger, and create what you do desire? It's never too late. It's never too late for that.
Never too late.
Look at me. I'm like 34 and like I'm still going.
Oh, Max. You're funny. So, Max, we have about a minute and a half left of this show, so I want to make sure that people realize that they can go and find Max on talk2.technology, no .com, just talk2.technology, and check out some of his classes. And it's like, I mean, he's brilliant at what he does, and it's like he's willing to empower you to know, you don't have to have, a huge amount of knowledge of technology. In fact, you don't have to have a basic. You just need to know how to open your computer, I guess, and sign up for his newsletter. And he can show you that as well. There you go. Really, really easy. So what else? Is there anything else that you would like to, leave the listeners with here today, this afternoon?
Well, I think
what we started
with, what we started with, exactly the same thing, is technology is never the source of creation. You are the source of creation, yeah? And it's the question that Simone asked, how can you use technology to your advantage? It's like I literally close if I'm not clear about what I'm doing on my computer, I shut my computer and I walk away. And then if there's something that comes up and go, yes, this on my computer, rather than getting lost in different stuff and going, I should do this and I should do that and I should do that. Like, be clear about what you desire to create. Ask the questions and get clear about what you desire to create, and then use technology to help you with that and to make it bigger. It's really just like an amplifier for what you desire to create in the world.
I like that. And follow the creativity that you have. It's like, don't let anyone limit you. And it's like, I know that you are the one that mostly limits you, but please don't allow anyone to limit you. And it's like, I mean, look at some of the most famous artists in the world, and it's like, they didn't allow anyone to limit them. And it's like, their art is worth, thousands, millions of dollars. And it's like, and some people would have looked at that and gone, wow, that's crap. And some people look at it and think it's brilliant. So what if you just were willing to acknowledge your capacities and you knew that you were brilliant? Please, that's the thing I'd like to leave you with today. Acknowledge your capacities. Yeah. Exactly. What's fun for you? So thank you so much, Max, for joining us today on